Good morning, Mary McGuire. Today is April 13th, and according to NationalDayCalendar.com, it is National Scrabble Day. This day on April 13th recognizes a game played around the world. Originally named Lexco and then crisscross words, Alfred Mosher Rutz eventually settled on the name Scrabble. The amateur artist and unemployed architect developed the word game in the middle of the Depression. Still, it wasn't until 1948 a final name changed a trademark, but Butts finally began to produce the game. Scrabble is played with 2 to 4 players who score points by forming words. This individual lettered tiles on a game board marked with a 15 times 15 grid.
In the United States, the name Scrabble is the trademark of Hasbro Inc. Scrabble is sold in 121 countries with 29 different language versions. Worldwide, over 150 million sets have been sold, with sets being found in nearly 1/3 of American homes. 1984, Scrabble became a daytime game show in NBC. 2004, Scrabble was included into the National Toy Hall of Fame. Some cities sponsor Scrabble tournaments on the weekend closer into National Scrabble Day. The word Scrabble means grope frantically now for a book.
This book is a classic. It's called Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. The first chapter is called The Big Winner. I won Dribble at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. All the other guys got to take home goldfish in little plastic bags. I won him because I guessed that there were 348 jelly beans in Mrs. Fargo's jar. Really, there were 423, she told us later. Still, my guess was the closest. Peter Warren Hatcher is the big winner, Mrs. Fargo announced. At first I felt bad that I didn't get a goldfish too. Then Jimmy handed me a glass bowl. Inside there was some water and 3 rocks. A tiny green turtle was sleeping on the biggest rock. All the other guys looked at their goldfish. I knew what they were thinking. They wished they could have a tiny green turtle too. I named mine Turtle Dribble. While I was walking home from Jimmy's party, I live at 25 West 68th Street. It's an old apartment building, but it's got one of the best elevators in New York City. There are mirrors all around. You can see yourself from every angle. There's a soft cushioned bench to sit on if you're too tired to stand. The elevator operator's name is Henry Bevelheimer. He lets us call him Henry because Bevelheimer's very hard to say. Our apartment's on the 12th floor, but I don't have to tell Henry. He already knows. He knows everybody in the building. He's that smart. He even knows I'm 9 and in 4th grade. I show him Dribble right away. I want him at a birthday party, I said. Henry smiled. Your mother's going to be surprised. Henry was right. My mother was really surprised. Her mouth opened when I said, just look at what I won at Jimmy Fargo's birthday party. I held up my tiny green turtle. I've already named him. Dribble. Isn't that a great name for a turtle? My mother made a face. I don't like the way he smells, she said. What do you mean? I asked. I put my nose right down close to him. I didn't smell anything but turtle. So Dribble smells like turtle, I thought. Well, he's supposed to. That's what he is. And I'm not going to take care of him either, my mother added. Of course you're not, I told her. He's my turtle, and I'm the one who's going to take care of him. You're going to change his water and clean out his bowl and feed him all of that? She asked. Yes, I said, and even more, I'm going to see that he's happy. This time my mother made a funny noise, like a groan. I went to my bedroom. I put Dribble on top of my dresser. I tried to pet him and tell him he would be happy living with me, but it isn't easy to pet a turtle. They aren't soft and furry, and they don't lick you or anything. Still, I had my very own pet at last. Later, when I sat down at the dinner table, my mother said, I smell turtle. Peter, go and scrub your hands. Some people might think that my mother is my biggest problem. She doesn't like turtles, and she's always telling me to scrub my hands. That doesn't mean just run them under the water. Scrub means I'm supposed to use soap and rub my hands together. Then I've got to rinse and dry them. I ought to know by now. I've heard it enough. But my mother is my biggest problem. Neither is my father. He spends a lot of time watching commercials on TV. That's because he's in the advertising business. These days, his favorite commercial is the one about Juicio. He wrote it himself, and the president of Juicio Company liked it so much, he sent my father a whole crate of Juicio for our family to drink. It tastes like a combination of oranges, pineapples, grapefruits, pears, and bananas. And if you want to know the truth, I'm getting pretty sick of drinking it. But Juicio isn't my biggest problem either. My biggest problem is my brother, Farley Drexel Hatcher. He's 2.5 years old. Everybody calls him Fudge. I feel sorry for him if he's going to grow up with a name like Fudge. But I don't say a word. It's none of my business. Fudge is always in my way. He messes up everything he sees. And when he gets mad, he throws himself flat on the floor and he screams. And he kicks. And he bangs his fists on the floor. The only time I really like him is when he's sleeping. He sucks his forefingers on his left hand and makes a slurping noise. When Fudge saw Dribble, he said, "Ooh, see!" And I said, "That's my turtle. Get it? Mine. Ya don't touch him." Fudge said, "No touch." And then he laughed like crazy. Oh, that is the first chapter of Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. Tonight we have a mystery reader for our Nuts to You book. Hopefully you've been keeping up with it. We are on pages 69 through 92 will be read by our guest reader tonight. It's a mystery. Who will it be? 7 p.m. on McGuire Elementary's Facebook page. Hopefully you can tune in and see who our mystery reader is going to be. Now our math challenge. Our Monday math challenge was a two-parter, and Mason was buying eggs, trying to have enough eggs for his cake, and we were talking dozen. So a dozen means 12. So he would need 20 eggs. Kai from Snow's class told us that he would need 20 eggs. Okay, that is correct. Keebaw's class said, yes, he needs 2 dozen eggs to complete his 5 cakes. So Mrs. Skenesny's class also got it correct, and Riley from Bunker's class also got it correct. So that was our math challenge. Have a wonderful day.
You've been Rickrolled!